Hi, my name is Jeff Sipe, and I have over 10 years of recruiting experience, including 5 years at Google. In this video, we are going to cover what interview questions they will ask me. This is a common question I get all the time, and the answer is in the job description. If you can focus on the job description, you will have great success in the interview. And please stay tuned. This is going to be really high level, and then I'm going to screen share and go through each step that I'm going to high level right now. So, item one, copy and paste the job description off whatever site you're on and into a Google Doc. Step two, organize it in a manner that's going to be really comfortable for you to look at the information and grasp what you need to get out of it. Step three, you're going to highlight all the critical information in red. Any key words, any key phrases, themes, highlight them in red. Step four, you are going to start compiling some notes. So the first step is to condense the about the job from a few paragraphs down to one paragraph, a few sentences. You're also going to want to look for key words that continue to show up time and time again. You can use the find replace button for that. And then the last step you're going to take is you are going to take all this data and you're just going to start creating questions. Questions that you think are very likely that are showing up in your keywords and showing up in your themes. And so now let's flip over to the screen share. Okay, for our quick example, I've pulled up an example on the Google's career page. This is a program manager role. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this information and I'm going to copy and paste it into a Google Doc. The only change I've made is I've made it organized. So I've put the about the job piece at the top and then pulled the minimum qualifications, preferred qualifications, and responsibilities to the bottom, and I created a notes section. Then I go through the job and I start highlighting items in red that I think are really important. Big picture, complex, identifying risks, network decommission optimization, so on and so forth. And I really highlight anything that I think is key from the job description in red. And again, I've set it up this way so I can eventually move over and pull this into my notes section. And so a couple of items that I want to do with the notes are I want to look for the broad overall theme. So what I did was I condensed 3 paragraphs into 1 paragraph, and I kind of put it together and I said, really what Google wants in this job is they want a PM that can work across multiple global projects. They want me to have an ability to communicate everything from risk to scheduling. This role is going to focus on the network decommissioning by defining recovery value, etc., so on and so forth. So that's the first step. I've shortened and really thought about what the job requires. Secondly, what I've done is I went ahead and I looked for words that came up more than once. And so if you go to edit and you go find and replace, you can just look up words that you have in red. So network and networking are big words, projects, plans, planning, decommission, of course, and so on and so forth. So I'm just making myself aware of these themes. Just calling those words to attention will get your brain thinking in the right manner. And then lastly, I've taken these notes and I've created some likely questions. And so literally I'm just going through and saying, okay, there's probably going to be a stakeholder question, a project lifecycle question, a cross-functional question, of course. There's a lot about priorities in there. So how do I prioritize work? Then I'm going to get a little bit more specific on the technical. I'm going to talk about servers, data center equipment. I'm going to talk about the success of a project or a program. A lot of words about customers. So how do I make sure they're happy? And again, so on and so forth. And so what I've done is I have created a framework of potential questions that I think might come from this job description. This has taken me probably 20 minutes to a half an hour to put all this together and go through all this. Then, of course, you can go out to Google and Google the questions as well. But creating this kind of framework, you have this beautiful document that highlights the key terms in red, all the way from about the job to the qualifications to the responsibilities. You go high level about the job, you look for keywords, and then you create some likely questions. So I hope that screen share helped. The intent was to keep this video on the shorter end today, but if you take those necessary steps, and they may take 20 to 30 minutes, you are going to be setting yourself up for great success because you've really taken the time to identify what is the job looking for and what are the potential questions that are going to be asked of me. And this is going to be at least half. You still want to focus on commonly asked questions, open-ended questions, and of course you want to ask your recruiter or the hiring manager what topics will be covered, what questions might be asked. But just using the job description alone will help you have so much success. Good luck. Thanks.